Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Jeremy and Andrew Show. And now, here are your hosts, Jeremy and Andrew.
Welcome to a fun-filled episode of the Jeremy and Andrew Show. I am Jeremy.
I'm Andrew G. Happy Monday night.
Happy Monday night. We got some shit to get into.
Yeah, there's a lot to get into. Thanks for joining us as always, guys. We really appreciate it. We do got a lot to get into. We got a pretty good, well-packed show. A lot of comedy and a lot of news. So we're going to definitely jump into it. What do you want to get into first? Should we go comedy or should we go news?
Let's go comedy first.
Let's go comedy. All right, so I mentioned that I saw Joe List the other week, which is pretty cool. And he did that whole Tonight Show thing where he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm testing out the timing," and he was like, talking about how hot the room was, like, how good the crowd was.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, I should have shot my special here and stuff." He's like, "Oh yeah, I should mention Pottstown." He's like, I'll just pull on my ear. Now who knows? He could be doing this in every city, which was even more genius if that's what he did do. But then at the end of his set, Jimmy Fallon comes over and he does the ear pull, which was genius because, we were talking about it in, in like his social media. Everybody was commenting about it. So, I just kind of appreciated him as a comedian. I thought he ended up doing some really cool, different stuff that I'd never seen before. And I was never a huge fan of him, but he definitely now I'm pretty big Joe List fan. I thought he did a fucking awesome job when I saw him live, and he kind of even continued that, which is cool.
A friend of mine and I, we were flying on a flight. We had a gig in Iowa. We were on the same flight, and I was in first class. I'm better than him, and I got on the plane, and there was a beautiful woman that sat next to me, very gorgeous, which has nothing to do with the story. I just want you to know, hot women sit next to me. Yeah, if an airline tells them they have to, whatever. It was cool. And then my friend Steve got on. Now, comedians, we're like ball busters, we like to make fun of each other. So when he got on the plane, I just went, "Hey, I hope your bag doesn't fit in the overhead." Not hilarious, but just fun. And then this lady, she goes, "That's a really dark thing to wish on somebody." Which was annoying, because that's not a dark thing to wish on somebody. It's mean, it's not dark. Dark would be like, "I hope the plane crashes and you're the only one that dies." That would be a dark thing to wish on somebody. So I just said, "Oh, we're friends," which is my way of being like, "Why don't you mind your business?" I said, "We're friends." And then she said, "That makes it worse." And that really bothered me, because now we're fighting. And also, she's wrong again, because that doesn't make it worse. That makes it better. It would be way worse if random people were getting on a plane and I was sitting in first class going, "Hey, I hope your bag doesn't fit in the overhead." She's like, "Do I know you?" "No, you don't know me. I don't like your face. Now get back there. First class." Hoo, hoo. We're doing great. My friends, actually, we're way over time. But I did the whole bullshit with the thing. So that's... And you guys are a hotter crowd than they will be. I got a friend, he's dumb. I'm dumb. Your friends are dumb, and then you're dumb, so you're all dumb together. But then occasionally your friend does something that takes it to a level that you're like, "Am I doing community service by hanging out with this person?" My buddy and I went to an art museum. We're not really art guys, but I was like, whatever, we'll go to the art museum. How hard can it be? My buddy walks up to a painting. He looks at it. He's like, "Wow, that is beautiful. Feel that." He just starts rubbing the painting. And I had to be like, "Are you joking? Because if you're joking, that's hilarious. I don't want to ruin a good bit. That's very funny if you're trying to be funny." And then he was like, "What?" And I had to tell him, I was like, "You don't touch paintings." And then he said, "Why?" And that's when I realized I'm only a little bit smarter than him, because I was like, I actually don't know why. It is dry. The guy that painted it's dead. You know what? Maybe you can touch paintings. Maybe I'm wrong, and I just started. All right, this is probably too long. And then there used to be a part here where I would say retarded a couple of times, but I feel like they didn't. Yeah, they don't let me say hate. I don't think I can say retarded, but I only say you can't say. I say the word to say you can't say the word. But touches paintings is like a nice replacement for that word. You know what I mean? This my friend Steve, he touches paintings, he's a good guy. You're gonna like him, But I for sure can't do that. on the Tonight Show. But I think it's timing a little long, but that's okay. We had fun. Anyways, there it is, Tonight Show. And then I'm like this. You guys are great. My name's Joe List. Thank you so much.
That's how you do it. That is fantastic. Thank you. Joe List. That's how you do it. Enough for Everybody is available on YouTube now. That was fantastic. We'll be right back, everybody.
And then all the women run down. They're like, let us suck you off. And I'm like, no, get out of here. Come on.
Yeah, I saw Joe List once in Royersford. It was Joe and friends, so it was not a feature spot at all. It was a whole bunch of like bucket list comedians that I wanted to see. But I like Joe. I don't remember any of his bits, but I remember enjoying it.
It's funny
Enjoying
talking
him.
about like calling his friends retarded. That they touch paintings.
Mm-hmm.
That's like another word for it. It's like he touches paintings. It's like instead of saying retarded. I'm butchering it, but it was funny. So a bunch of specials came out. Dan Soder's special came out. I thought that was really good. You said you saw that as well.
Yeah, I watched it yesterday.
Yeah, and a lot of the comedians are putting out pretty digestible specials now. They're 30 to 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's one thing I noticed. Dan's special was like 39 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Which is that's a good chunk, and I'm sure when he was on stage there was a lot more to it. But he probably cut it down and made it really really solid. It was actually interesting. He definitely cut it down because I thought it was a little bit weird that he kind of came in. There was no intro.
Yeah.
It just like was him mid joke.
I want to be fun dumb. You ever seen people that just have it where they're just like, you ever seen someone with the right amount? Where you're like, damn, you have it. It's all green lights for you. That's what I want, dude. Turn the lights down. Just barely. Just one more. Turn the lights down one. Not two. I don't want to be so dumb I can't live alone. I'm not. I'm not trying to burden a family member, but I just want to enjoy. Like, I would love to walk in a room and see a Fast and Furious trailer and be like, they're going faster? Like, fucked up? Like, how?
And then kind of even like ended on like it wasn't a big pop at the end, but
So last summer I'm out walking the dog and I hear those kids on their bikes and I hear the nerd of the group first. I just hear this kid go, "Stop cussing!" And then I hear another kid go, "Shut the fuck up! I'll suck your cock." I was like, that little boy doesn't know what he's saying. That little boy has no idea what he's saying. And if he does, then he knows himself better than I've ever known myself. Portland, you were a lot of fun. I really appreciate this shit. Thank you guys very much. It was a lot of fun. Thanks a lot. We'll see you guys.
I thought his special was pretty funny.
Yeah, that's a typical Dan Soder special.
Yeah.
I love the shit talking about his fiance. Having that, like Alexa or Google speaker, him watching porn.
Yeah, through the Bluetooth or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I've had that happen to me. That's a panic attack when you realize that the Bluetooth on your phone is lit up.
Or have you ever had like your kid say something to Alexa and it brings up porn?
Not porn, no. But no, my kids have said stuff to Alexa and then it's brought up like, rap or songs that I don't want them to hear.
There's this one clip on YouTube called Digger Digger.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen that one?
Yeah.
Say, Alexa.
Alexa, play Digger Digger. I can't find the song Too Good to Her.
Alexa, play Screech Song.
Let him do it.
Alexa, play Digger Digger. Alexa, play Digger Digger.
Oh. Bobby, can you tell it to play Wheels?
You
on
want
the
to
bu-
hear a station for porn detected. Porno ringtone, hot chick amateur girl calling
No,
sexy.
no, no, no,
Sex,
no.
hot pussy anal dildo ringtone.
Alexa,
Android.
stop!
It starts bringing up the dad's like browser history. He's like, Alexa, no. Because why else would it be reading those off? Like it was like reading off like headlines to links or whatever. You do have a digital footprint. Never forget that. That is really funny.
Mine is full of big booty hoes.
There you go. I like them up top, but hey, why not?
I'm
all good.
I'm equal opportunity, but you know.
Yeah, that's.
Have you ever seen Dan Soder's fiance?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, she
We'll
is.
have to put up a picture
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah, just because.
I'm sure she's beautiful.
She is beautiful. She's her name's Katie Nolan. She does like sports type stuff.
Oh, I think I have seen her before actually. The name sounds familiar.
Yeah, she seems like a cool chick.
Yeah, I'm sure she is. Dan's a cool dude. He does
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of stuff. I didn't realize like he's pretty big on like what? There's an HBO show he's on or something. Couple big shows he's done.
I want to say Billions.
Yeah, I think it was Billions.
He does like 7 podcasts.
Yeah,
That's
he
a
does
bit of
shit
exag-
ton of podcasts. He
that's-
just started his own podcast now too.
That's a bit of an exaggeration.
But no, he does do. He's on everybody else's podcast all the time.
Oh yeah.
He's always on We Might Be Drunk and stuff. But
Yeah, Dan is one of my favorites, and he's just a super cool guy to
yeah, Billions was the one he
like
was on.
come up to and say, hey, what's up?
Yeah. And for you, it's definitely in your wheelhouse because he's a big wrestling guy. He does all the wrestling voices. He knows the history.
The 3rd of March.
There we go.
It's out.
So it's out 2 days ago. Yeah.
Seen
Everything changes in a day. Yeah.
a lot of the material. It's
Lost
killer.
my grandmother. She slowly wilted away. Yeah. Like an apple left outside off the tree. Up in heaven with Macho Man. Grandma's like, my grandson loves you.
It's awesome to think you're such a boy.
Yeah.
And you're like, now my grandma's with Macho Man. You're still such a little
Oh,
boy.
wow, Andre the Giant and Nana are hanging out.
I picture this is how you do it in therapy.
Yeah,
You got to do the Macho Man voice to unload it.
Alan goes, let it out. I go, yeah, he could have came to a Little League game. Would have gave me some validation. Daddy's validation.
Yeah, he's brilliant at doing voices, but he does not harp on them. Like some impressionists are not the best comedian,
Right.
but he has that gift of being a great comic who just does great voices.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, because it can get. Impressions are amazing when people can do them right, but it can get a little bit, I guess, gimmicky or campy or whatever
Yeah.
people would want to say, which I could see that. But he's just so good at them.
Like Frank Caliendo, brilliant at doing voices.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest,
Stand
average
up.
comedian.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense. I mean, he did so many characters on like Mad TV. His Madden was absolutely phenomenal. I love when he would do John Madden.
Yeah, here's a guy.
Boom, tough acting to acting. Speaking of the wrestling thing, we did have Dark Lumen reply to you as far as his favorite wrestlers. So Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker, and then he also said he prefers Colbert over Crowder because I got them mixed up on the other episode, which definitely can't agree on that one. But yeah, I wanted to let you. Did you get to see that comment?
No, I didn't.
Okay, I wanted to make sure that you saw it. So, he was watching wrestling.
Colbert over Crowder, which means he still lives with his mother.
Yeah, well, and he says he hasn't watched wrestling since we're all '90s days.
Bullshit.
WCW. So
Bullshit.
yeah, he says he's grown out of it, I guess, a little bit. But yeah, but for some reason they are the most followed social media out of all the sports. So go figure. They have like 100 million followers compared to all these other sports. NFL only has like 23 or something. It's like it's kind of crazy.
I actually looked into getting tickets for WrestleMania because this year's in Philly.
Oh really? I think
Yeah.
I have heard that. Yeah, that would be pretty fun actually.
It would be fun, but I'm not paying $400 for shitty seats at the Link. Hell no.
Yeah, no, it's insane.
Especially when I used to, go to wrestling shows at high school gyms for $15.
Right. Yeah, I don't know if you've heard of this stupid shit. It's the Savannah Bananas are coming to Philly. They're like this really lame baseball team.
Oh yeah, they wear pink.
Yeah, well, they wear like yellow, and I think the team against them usually wears pink or whatever. It's like
it's
it's like
kinda-
the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball. They'll be on stilts pitching and shit.
I guess it's kind of fun.
Yeah, but apparently the tickets are like crazy expensive, and I don't know if it's third-party tickets or what it is, but I don't know. You gotta fact check me on this, but apparently the one guy at work was telling me they're like $1,800, $1,400 for like these front row seats for that bullshit. Like, what is happening?
I'm not paying that much.
That's a
to
Super
go
Bowl
back
ticket.
in time to like 1993 or 94 to watch the Phillies take on the Blue Jays type of deal.
I bet you'd pay that to have a front row seat at JFK's parade. Never mind. So, now, yeah, the other specials that came out, David Lucas. I'm going to rattle off a few here because these all came out right around the same time. David Lucas, H. Foley, Henry Foley, Kim Congdon, and Fahim Anwar. So all their specials came out. David Lucas, got to see him live as well in Pottstown. He's fucking funny as shit. He's so good.
Yeah, I just saw a quick clip of him.
Yeah, he's good with. He pumps out a lot of clips and shorts because he does so much crowd work.
And H. Foley's one of the Are You Garbage guys, right?
He is, yeah. And actually, tonight, the night that we're filming this, Kippy, Kevin Ryan, the other Are You Garbage guy, his special is going to be coming out.
Oh,
so
that's cool.
Yeah, they both filmed a half hour, and that's basically what they tour with. So they both do a half hour, and then they play Are You Garbage like with the crowd. So I guess the crowd fills out questions, and then they'll read them on stage. And a couple of clips that have come out with that is absolutely hilarious.
And that's brilliant because all you're basically doing is crowd work.
Yeah, you're doing crowd work, but you're also keeping it in your wheelhouse. You're doing what you know the audience is going to love, and they're also doing what they're great at.
So what weight class does Kim Congdon fight at? I'm sorry, that sounds like a UFC name.
Yeah, no, she you're not familiar with her at all.
No.
Then? So yeah, her special is pretty good. I mean, she makes the rounds. She's been on Rogan. She's been on Roseanne Barr's podcast. She's she's been around for a long time. Her stuff was pretty funny for sure. I thought it was actually a little bit more clever and well thought out than I kind of expected, just based off of seeing her on podcasts, because her podcast stuff is not anything riveting. But yeah, her stand up is really good. And then Fahim Anwar, I saw him. His stuff is really funny. I can't remember anything that stuck out specifically, but I thought it was good. It's kind of my first experience with him, so I'd have to probably go back and rewatch again for it to be as memorable, but it was all right.
Not as good at Aziz's little cousin's doing comedy, I guess.
Who does? Aziz?
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Akash from Andrew Schultz's podcast and stuff, Akash Singh, he did his special came out. It was over an hour, and I'm thinking like, oh man, this is interesting. Like it was like an hour and 18 minutes. It opened with like a dance routine, which was kind of interesting. Don't know how I felt about that. It's all right, I guess. And then out of nowhere, during a special twice, the first time I was caught off guard, but he did like a promo for like Prize Picks. Like where like his mom or somebody was calling him and was like, "Oh, don't forget to say Prize Picks," and like you could tell it was edited in, but it was kind of weird because watching it just interrupted the flow. And then he did it again later, like towards the end, and I was like,
which
"What
is
the fuck?"
acceptable during like a podcast.
Yeah,
but a special.
And that's like a joke that comedians make, like, "Oh yeah, this set was brought to you by." Manscaped, blah, blah, blah. And, like, I've seen a lot of comedians make that joke. It gets a chuckle. It's funny. But, like, yeah, to actually have an actual promo like that during your special, and I get it. It wasn't probably done in front of the actual crowd that was there. But the fact that it was done during, and I guess it was a premiere, because I watched it after the fact. But I'm sure, I didn't get to see anything in the live chat during the premiere, but I'm sure people were roasting that. Because I've never, ever seen that during any special ever. That seems just crazy to me. Nick DiPaolo and Colin Quinn are going to be coming to Pottstown. Pretty excited about that.
Definitely. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I just love that you spelled Colin Quinn.
Oh, I did put colon. Look at that.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Yeah, I didn't even notice that. There you go. You would notice that. Yeah, Colin Quinn, I already got tickets for that one. Nick DiPaolo, definitely planning on going to see him as well. Two people that next time we do the Living Legends show
yes,
would definitely be on the list. You know what I mean?
I mean, Colin's already had one heart attack, so he could just be a legend.
That's true. We gotta get him in quick then. We gotta make that an episode soon. Yeah, Nick DiPaolo, he's a fucking old school, hilarious dude. I can't wait to see
him. He was a New York guy for so many years, but he got sick and tired of all the bullshit.
Right.
So I think he moved to like Georgia or South Carolina.
Yeah, he's a bit more of a conservative guy. He's actually on Crowder. So, yeah, but he's really good on Crowder. He cracks me up. During the State of the Union address, they do like a drinking game, which is pretty fun. So, Nick DiPaolo's right there the whole time, cracking jokes, making fun of everybody, making fun of Biden, and it was really funny. It's a good time.
Yeah, Colin Quinn gives people who are mushed mouth, who don't talk well, hope with that thick tongue Irish accent.
Did you see this dude that was on Joe Rogan? That was on Rogan's podcast. Turned out to be a murderer here. Have you heard anything about this? No, this isn't the guy. I'm trying to find him.
Yeah, well, didn't he go to jail for like 25 years, got out, then...
He was like working for the public defender's office or something.
And it wasn't just that he got arrested for murder. He had a head in his freezer.
Yeah, he had a head in his freezer. The guy was chopped up. Pretty funny. He not funny, this is terrible, but he like wore a couple different wigs allegedly. Like you see the video of him. It's insane. I mean, the guy's literally just on Joe Rogan talking about how reformed he is and what he's done, and he was a Cripper of blood. That's why he initially went to jail. But yeah, I mean, the videos of him actually going in and out of the place that they had gotten. And I'll put up some pictures that I screenshotted of him going in and out. But yeah, I mean, this is the guy that he killed, allegedly. And the whole thing was they came to the apartment or wherever he was at because they heard like 2 gunshots and like somebody saying like, "Don't I have kids?" or something like that. So pretty.
So he looks like he allegedly killed Shuggy Bear Knight.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. So then he's kind of going in and out of the elevator. He's got like cleaning supplies, and then he's got.
Come on, bro! You're wearing a yellow hoodie.
Well, maybe he's part of Banana Savannahs. So then he's got like this weird hat on, like a weird, almost like, what would you call that? Like a newsy.
Something Bill Cosby would have worn on the Cosby Show.
It's like newsy, but it's got the flaps, and then he's got this blonde wig on. This is really the best of him coming out.
Okay, that's not going to be too suspicious.
Hey, in this day and age, I mean, he can identify however he wants. I mean, just a gigantic black man walking around with a blonde wig on is gonna raise questions and suspicions, I would think. But I guess it depends on where this was. If it was in San Francisco, probably not so much. But yeah, this dude's pretty scary. That's a pretty scary thing. Now, is that the first you heard of it, or did you see him on Rogan or anything, or did you hear about this that this happened?
I just heard that Joe had somebody who allegedly killed somebody on his show.
Yeah, that's madness.
So what state did this happen in?
I don't even know. I'd have to go back and look.
Hopefully it's a death penalty state.
Yeah. Yeah. So this was on Joe Rogan's podcast with the civil rights lawyer Josh Dubin, D-U-B-I-N.
Oh, he's going to be dubing some time.
Yeah, you're not kidding. I love the comment section. Meanwhile, Brandon Schaub is still not allowed on stage at the mothership. There's a top comment here. That's pretty funny. The podcast cringe actually pinned this here, which is funny. The podcast cringe is pretty good. There's a shout out there. That's pretty good site or web page. Does a lot of work. It talks a lot about different comedians and what's going on in different podcasts and stuff. So maybe it'll shit on us one day.
We can only hope that we can attract the ire of podcast cringe.
Yes, that would be that will be the day that we can say we made it.
So so which one are you more excited to see, Nick or Colin?
I'm more excited to see Nick DiPaolo just because I watch him pretty frequently. So it's kind of like one of those things where it's like you see the guy on TV. It's like I gotta, it'll be like cool to see him in real life and see him live. And he's hilarious. He's more of my style of comedy, where he just kind of like, joke after joke after joke, dirty, very dirty comic. I love that sort of shit.
But on stage, you're a little bit of a people pleaser. You want to get the crowd on your side.
I know. That's true. That's why I stole your joke.
You're gonna steal my shit. Kill with it. We gotta
talk about this because
you got tepid laughter at best.
Well, you know what it is? It was I didn't realize I stole your joke, obviously, until the second you said it in the hallway after. Because I haven't seen your set in a few weeks.
Yeah.
But I remember seeing you do that live at the Dirty Show. But it's a quick one, and I remember cracking up at it. And then I was actually going to the cigar lounge, and I had this joke pop into my head, and I was like, oh my god, and I wrote out more of a story around it. But the way you deliver it's so perfect for your style. So yeah, that's my bad. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't a stolen joke in the sense that you watch some of these clips where it's like, oh, here's Carlos Mencia verbatim saying exactly the same joke. It was the exact same premise. But, but yeah, no, I mean,
the punchline was the same.
Yeah.
My setup and my premise are better.
Yeah, no, you do it perfect for your style. And the second you brought it up, I apologized. I said wouldn't do the joke again. That wasn't the first time that's happened where I've had something somewhat similar, somewhat of an adjacent joke. And it wasn't. I wasn't approached about it in a negative way, but I just said, all right, well, I just won't do the joke again, because I write a lot too.
Yeah.
So I'm interchangeable. I change up a lot of things.
And maybe you should what you think is your best 5? Because what are you, like a year in?
Almost coming up on it, yeah.
Yeah, you're still a new boo. It's okay to like pick out your best 5 and hone in on that.
Yeah. No, I think I have a good probably 7 that I have at this point.
Which means you have 4.
No, I think I have a good 7.
I'm sorry, 3.
I'm being realistic about it because I know I have 5 because I've done my solid 5 a couple times in the past. So like I know I have that solid 5 down. But then there's other jokes that I know would be part of that are solid enough. So, but yeah, I also like to comment on like what's been going on in the room a lot. Like, that's usually what kills the best because everybody's engaged. Everybody just saw whatever happened. We also have where we go. It's a lot of people know each other. So like sometimes that becomes part of the joke is talking about somebody because we know their job or whatever,
who's banging who,
whatever clothes they're wearing, or who's banging who. Yeah, so
like I wasn't mad, but you were absolutely. I was gonna talk about it immediately.
Well, that was funny because like I hadn't seen your set in a while, and I brought some people from work. Well, I didn't bring them; they came. And you were like getting ready to go on, and I was like, yeah, and then like you kind of looked at me, and I was like, okay. I guess he's in the zone. And then you went up and you mentioned on stage, and I was like, afterwards, I was like, you didn't have to mention on stage, dude. You could
I did.
You could have just told me that shit. Well, nobody knew what the fuck you were talking about. I don't think anybody knew it.
I've done that joke enough where
maybe a couple people.
Yeah,
probably Crumb Show guys probably knew it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they know. They probably know more of your set than I do at this point.
No, it's only taken 6 years for a hack to steal my shit.
Can't be a hack if I'm not making money. I ain't doing shit. Open mic once a week doesn't qualify.
Yeah, with the amount you drink at the open mic, you're losing money.
Yeah, at this point, that's for sure. Yeah, I got to go back to dry January.
Yeah, you need dry January year round.
Yeah, I think maybe that's not a bad idea. We're going to get you drinking. That's actually that bottle of water that you just chugged is
Vodka.
Primarily vodka. You're so thirsty you didn't even know it.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into this Boeing whistleblower.
The main event.
Yeah, we've been talking about Boeing and plane crashes and shit that's been going on for a while now. If you watched the show the past few weeks, there's pretty much like one a week that we talk about.
There's been 3 new ones just in the past few weeks.
Yeah, there's been a bunch of them. I think there's even more than 3. There's been a lot going on. So yeah, we've been talking about this shit, and now this whistleblower, John Barnett, I think his name
Yes.
was, allegedly suicided.
Allegedly, but wrap your mind around this hypothesis.
Okay.
Maybe Boeing didn't need to directly kill John Barnett.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're probably like countersuing him. The full weight of Boeing's legal team. He's spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on his legal bills. He's spending hours in court. Boeing is like I'm sure they're controlling the narrative where they're saying he's just a bitter piece of shit. This is affecting his family.
So you're saying he would never win it?
Yeah. He starts drinking. Maybe he does a little bit of drugging. Maybe Boeing didn't need to kill him. They were playing the long game.
Yeah, except it happened like right before he was supposed to take trial. That's a little fishy, the timing, I would say.
Like, I am fully willing to believe that Boeing had a problem solver. And its name was Revolver.
Allegedly, I think that's fairly accurate. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty wild. I feel like this stuff's happening more where it's just like, all right, we can just kind of like take the person out or cancel them or erase them or arrest them. Did you see the guy that got arrested for sharing a meme in the UK or whatever? Amongst like a group of people?
No.
Yeah, like this is getting insane. Like I don't like the way things are going in this direction. I personally think it's Agenda 2030. I've talked about that before. He probably knows more than most, and they don't want him to come out and start talking about why they're purposely sabotaging the industry.
I have heard about Agenda 2030. Those douchebags that go to an island and talk about how they're gonna fuck our lives up.
Yeah, that's definitely part of it. It's a big part of it. Yeah,
but Boeing's doing it to themselves. Like, just in the last couple weeks, you have a 777 that's landing gear collapses, and I want to say like Houston slides off the runway into the grass.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have a flight going from, I want to say, New Zealand to Australia or vice versa.
Yeah, was one of those.
Where just for no reason, the plane starts diving.
That's scary as shit.
And from what I heard on the internet, my quote unquote sources, that all the flight computers just went black, and the FMC decided to make the plane dive.
Yeah, that's crazy. That would even be the case. I mean, why that you never heard of that stuff before. I mean, there would maybe be an occasional issue here and there, and you would hear about it because it was so rare. But now you hear about it every week or multiple times a week that this stuff's happening.
And that was not an old airplane. That was a 787 Dreamliner.
There was also the female pilot that took a turn at like 10 knots or whatever, or however fast she was supposed to be not supposed to be going.
I've not heard of that one.
Yeah, she fucked up the plane pretty good. I'm trying to find the video of it, but it's hard to sift through. It might even be on Rumble.
Then there was probably the latest thing. Boeing plane with 249 people on board forced to make an emergency landing after mechanical problem.
Yeah, I mean, so what do you think's really going on? I mean, the fact that this guy is gone now. He was supposed to take trial. He's a whistleblower against Boeing. All this shit's going on. I think he knew something that they didn't want getting out, and I think it has to do with them trying to tank the industry, the travel industry. They don't want people to be traveling. They want to scare people out of it.
I personally think, he was going to go into great detail about the shoddy quality of airplane that Boeing makes now.
Yeah, because they're lightening up on a lot of the regulations. They're loosening up on the regulations,
well,
I should say.
I think
but that's public knowledge. A lot of that's happening.
I think this dude was like QA, and he saw that a piece of the plane had like 249 things wrong with it.
Jesus, is that a lot? That's insane.
Then like the workers and his supervisor go over the plane again, and just miraculously, like, there's only 30. Yeah, I'm fucking pissed at Boeing. Is this the female pilot?
I can't find that one. I hate when that happens.
Yeah, I'm fucking pissed at Boeing. I think the beginning of the end for Boeing is when
they lost $4 billion. So
Good. I hope it's like $8 billion.
Yeah, well, they lost $9 billion that day that the door fell off.
I hope they lose all their billions. The beginning of the end, in my personal opinion, is when they acquired McDonnell Douglas in the 90s.
It seems to be it's like a major monopoly. I mean, who else is producing planes and vehicles like this?
Airbus, maybe Lockheed.
Yeah, Lockheed, I consider them more of like creating defense.
Yeah.
Transportation for defense.
But it's basically Boeing and Lockheed making, not Boeing and Airbus making jumbo jets. Usually I'm not one for the government stepping in and doing and like cutting up a company, but in this case I'll make an exception. But Boeing is a quasi monopoly. I want that company shredded to pieces.
Hey, I'd love to see it.
Yeah, I was looking at my sources on the Australian flight. I couldn't find anything, but I did find somebody in the comment section of another Boeing fuck up that said, "If it's Boeing, I'm not going."
It's hard to find like this stuff too afterwards. It's like I feel like it does get wiped clean somehow. It's like I should have been able to find that pretty easily, but for whatever reason, can't.
Yeah, and now on travel sites like Kayak and I don't know what other travel sites there are.
Yeah, there's a shit ton.
Travel sites.
Priceline, Expedia, all
yeah.
that shit.
People are starting to search by airplane manufacturer.
Oh, interesting.
There's been a huge spike in people searching for Airbus.
That makes sense. Refusing to use Boeing.
Yeah.
Maybe Airbus has somebody on the inside of Boeing. They're sabotaging it on purpose.
Airbus isn't that much better. They're just, their quality assurance is a little bit better than Boeing.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like it's a lot better than Boeing at this point. All right, we got to get moving because we got a bunch more stuff to cover, and we are already a little bit over time, I guess. One thing that's pretty crazy because it's local to us. We're in Pennsylvania, but we're on the Philadelphia side of the state. But in Pittsburgh, they've announced that the police are no longer going to be responding between the hours of 3 a.m. and 7 a.m. Like they're not even going to be in the area, and like they're not going to be. Nobody's going to be in the station. Nobody's going to be reporting anything. And then they also pinpointed like certain crimes that they're basically not going to be responding to. So that's pretty wild. I've seen other stories like that going on in different cities, but it's kind of crazy to see something like that happening in Pittsburgh. If you think you were going to do that, you would just put police cars all over the place as decoys and put some dummies in them and do some things that still deter crime. Not put on social media like, hey, we're not going to be doing anything about crime between these hours. And announce it.
So if you're a night owl and you need to kill a motherfucker, do it between those hours.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just it's maddening. The stuff that's happening is
that
so
is the
obvious
direct
anymore.
consequences of defund the police.
Exactly. Yep, 100%.
And I'm assuming Pittsburgh's a democratically run city.
Yeah, it most likely is. All the cities seem to be. It's just where they all kind of pile up. When you look at like the election maps, it's like red everywhere, and then there's these few concentrated areas of blue. And unfortunately, those concentrated areas of blue tend to push things over the edge just enough. Speaking of the blue cities, New York City, they just put a huge fine on these like mom and pop pizza places. Not a fine, but they have to basically put in this huge air filtration system That's going to cost like hundreds of thousands of dollars for these places to be able to put in this air filtration system, because the city is putting these regulations on these companies. And yeah, that they're basically targeting like New York City pizza places. I mean, who wants to do business in New York? We've talked about that before with the whole Trump case and everything that's going on, but it's like that's becoming such a shithole.
Yeah, I have no desire to go to New York. Like, are the truck drivers still not going to go into New York?
I don't know. I haven't heard much about that. You know, that's another thing. It just kind of disappears. But I mean, I think that's still the case.
Good.
Thanks. The truckers are the shit, man. The truckers are the ones that really step up with when a lot of this shit's going down, and they're doing it across the world. The truckers and the farmers are the ones that are really stepping up. You know, in Europe and shit right now too. But again, all that stuff's being kind of kept away. You might see it a little bit on like Instagram here and there, depending on who you follow. But I think we are going to be really over time if we keep going. We're going to save some of these topics for the next show because this really flew by. But we appreciate everybody joining us. If you haven't had a chance yet, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We will see you guys on Monday, 6 p.m. next week. Again, I'm Andrew G. Check me out, andrewg.comedy. And
I'm Jeremy Hubsher, HUBSHER.
We love you guys. See ya.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for watching The Jeremy and Andrew Show. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. New show every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern.